Hello and welcome into a new edition of the Sports Stove Draft Show on the Sports Stove Media Network, presented by RighteousFelon.com. That's a great way to start an episode, isn't it? RighteousFelon.com. Promo code STOVE15 throughout the Valentine's season. That STOVE15 code will get you 20% off your purchase at RighteousFelon.com. So join the flavor revolution and find your new favorite flavor right there at RighteousFelon.com. Promo code STOVE15 will get you 20% off your purchase right now. All right, we are continuing through the draft process. As you might be able to hear, a little under the weather these days, but trying to keep the content flowing. So I apologize for the gruffled voice and the stuffed up sound. So we'll try to work through it and not gross you out too much. Okay. Today we're talking Ravens, Buccaneers, Lions, and Vikings. Last episode, we concluded the Rams, Ravens, and Cowboys. So we're at 15, 17, and 18 in the first round, skipping number 16 because we already discussed the Jets in previous episodes. So you can go back and check that out if you're a Jets fan. So today we're looking at picks 15, 17, and 18 and beyond for these teams, Tampa Bay, Detroit, and Minnesota. And excited about these teams because there's a lot of fun things to look at with these teams. Some changes that were made last season for some of these teams that didn't turn out so well in 2025. So now they've got to make some positive steps forward in 2026. Let's start with Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay hit on wide receiver last year in round one. Their season was decent, right? But they fell just short to Carolina in the division. Now you're looking at Atlanta getting a new coach, presumably getting better. Carolina should be building, so they should be getting better. New Orleans getting better as well. So Tampa cannot begin to fall behind. And they're sitting at pick 15. They've got a pick in every single round, but only one pick in every single round in this draft. Their greatest needs, in my opinion, are linebacker, edge rusher, tight end, cornerback, defensive line, and interior offensive line as well. I was floating around this idea in my mind a week or so ago of Tampa Bay trading. I don't know if I like this or not, but trading Baker Mayfield. Now, I love Baker Mayfield. If you've listened to any of the Sports Stove over the years, you will know I'm a Baker backer. I'm on the Baker train. I love his mindset. I love his grit. I love what he brings to a locker room, and I love his ability. He's a very good quarterback as well. I was wondering if maybe a trade with whether it be the Raiders at one, which I don't think you could do. They don't have enough capital there. You couldn't do Baker and a first this year and a first next year. You know what? You wouldn't want to do that. And so it's impossible to get to number one, I think, for Tampa. Then you're looking at the Jets at number two. But again, where are you going to get quarterback wise? You're going to have to go in the free agency for this year, or tank for next year. At the end of the day, it just doesn't work out. I think if it was played out a little differently, maybe if they're a little higher in the draft, those kinds of things, if there were more quarterbacks in the draft, all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, Tampa's sitting here. They're set at quarterback. They're set at running back. I think they're set at wide receiver. I know they've got some free agency and some older guys and all these kinds of things, but I think they're set at wide receiver as well. The tackles are decent, there as well. On the defensive side is where they have the biggest needs. And for the coach to keep his job next season, the defense is going to have to show up. And so I see them going defense heavy right here. There's a lot of defensive guys I think are already off the board. By the time we get to number 15, Reuben Bain should be gone. Caleb Downs should be gone. Arvell Reese should be gone. Bailey should be gone. I think Peter Woods is gone by here as well. Then possibly Sonny Styles is gone by this point too. If not, I love the Sonny Styles fit here for Tampa. We're probably a little too high to look at C.J. Allen at 15. I like C.J. Allen, but I'm not sure that I'm a fan of him here at 15. And what we're seeing out of the Senior Bowl and out of some guys in the Senior Bowl right now, there's probably some good options at linebacker in the second round. that you might really love and fall in love with at that point as well. So better value for linebacker probably at 15, not at 15, excuse me, but in the second round. If Sonny Styles is gone by this point, if not, I'm going Sonny Styles here for Tampa. Then you're looking at edge rusher. And an edge rusher here, you're looking at guys like Cassius Howell, Keldrick Falk. TJ Parker is shining well in the Senior Bowl as well. So maybe his name jumps back up to this area of the draft also. But at 15, you're probably looking at edge rusher number 3, possibly edge rusher number 4 at this point too. But I think edge is where your value is going to be for Tampa Bay at number 15. Tight end, if Kenyon Sadiq is there, this is where I start to like Kenyon Sadiq. Earlier in the draft, I just think it's too high for him. But when we're getting down here, 15 to Tampa, 19 to Carolina, some of those kind of teams in that area, this range, I really like the idea of having a tight end here at 15. So Kenyon Sadiq is an option for Tampa, would help their offense, no doubt about that as well. Then cornerback's the other option here, I think, that you're looking at. Well, actually, there's lots of options for Tampa. Cornerback, because you're probably looking at cornerback 3 at this point. So do you like Avion Terrell? Do you like Colton Hood? Probably I don't think cornerback's going to be the answer at 15. Defensive line's another option. Caleb Banks here at 15 would be awesome. You've got Caden McDonald. You've got some other options here. And then a guy that's rising up boards right now is Lee Hunter out of Texas Tech. So does he look as an option here at number 15 as well for Tampa? I'm going edge at 15 with a backup plan of Kenyon Sadiq or a defensive lineman here at 15. Then I'm going to go cornerback if none of those options are there. And Sonny Styles is option number 1, by the way. I should say that if he's there at 15. But I think he's gone by then. So look at edge rusher for Tampa. There, address linebacker or cornerback in round 2, and then go whatever you need after that. Best player available, of course. So there you go, Tampa at 15. Let's jump down to number 17 now, and the Detroit Lions. The Lions with a pick in the first, the second. No third-round pick this year, but they've got 1 in the 4th, 1 in the 5th, 3 in the 6th, and then we also have 1 in the 7th round for the Lions. Lions needs, in my book, offensive tackle. Need to go opposite of Sewell, in my opinion. Cornerback, edge rusher, interior O-line, linebacker, and defensive line are my priorities for Detroit in this draft. With only a first and a second round pick, they need to hit on both of those picks. And I think an offensive tackle for Detroit is really a prime spot for them to be looking at here at number 17. You need a right tackle. Caden Proctor could be sitting here for you at 17. You also have guys, depending on how you rank them and how you like them. Jennings Dunker from Iowa is one of my favorites. He fits Detroit. I'd love to see him end up in Green Bay, but Green Bay doesn't have a first-round pick, and I don't think he'll be there where they pick in the second. But it would be an awesome fit. I think Jennings Dunker, the mindset and everything like that is there. Monroe Freeling from Georgia. Caleb Lomu from Utah is a natural left tackle. So I'm not sure if the fit is perfect there or not. But you got some options there. I think that a Caden Proctor or a Jennings Dunker mindset, physicality, those kinds of things fit here for Detroit at 17. Cornerback, I like this spot here for cornerback as well. Avion Terrell and Colton Hood in this range, I think, is a good spot there as well. We talked about edge rushers just a second ago. Same guys, would be available at that point. Cassius Howell, Keldrick Falk, TJ Parker, those kinds of guys sitting in this range for Detroit. Interior offensive line. Listen, if you're not going to get Ione from Penn State in the first round, I'm not taking an interior guy after that point. So if Ione's there, steal of the draft at 17, in my opinion. And then linebacker again, CJ Allen, most likely is very possibly available here at 17 as an option. Maybe you love another linebacker. I like Anthony Hill Jr. out of Texas. It seems like I'm higher on him than most. So I would like the fit, but I'm not sure that that's where it's going to end up at there as well. All right, that's the Lions at 17. They're getting some new staff. By the way, last year they lost both coordinators. It had a major impact on them. So will the new coordinators that come in be the answer in Detroit this year? Maybe, but it starts here with the draft, getting things right, and free agency, of course, as well. All right, number 18 is the Vikings. I think just the laughing stock of the league right now. Sam Darnold in-house, winning a bunch of games, had 2 bad games to end the year, and the Vikings are like, yeah, we don't want that. So they toss him aside for J.J. McCarthy. Sam Darnold's in the Super Bowl, winning the same amount of games that he won in Minnesota, and, just living the life out there in Seattle. And Minnesota sitting here at pick 18 when they could be in the playoffs. They could have possibly even been in the Super Bowl, because if you look at the Vikings in Seattle, the biggest difference is the quarterback. The Seattle's defense is top of the league. Vikings, it was good, but not great. I understand that. I'm not saying the Vikings are a Super Bowl team with Sam Darnold. I'm saying that the potential for them being a Super Bowl team is much higher with Sam Darnold as a quarterback. They chose to go another direction, and so you get what you deserve in Minnesota. I've been telling you again, as I've been on the Baker train all these years, I told you from day one, J.J. McCarthy was not the answer. I do not have many inside sources, but I did have one in Minnesota who told me J.J. McCarthy was being outperformed by undrafted guys. He's not horrible. He's fine in the NFL, whatever, but he's not the guy that gets it done in Minnesota. So I do not list quarterback as a need simply because I don't think the Vikings view it as a need. So therefore, it will not be on the draft needs, in my opinion. Will they draft a quarterback somewhere in this draft? Very possibly. But they won't attack one early here. So the needs I have for Minnesota are cornerback, running back, safety, defensive line, and linebacker. They've got a first round, a second round, 2 third-round picks, a fifth, a sixth, and 2 seventh-round picks here for Minnesota as well. 18 cornerback, I think, has to be addressed and is probably the best value pick here for Minnesota at 18. Again, the same names that we've been mentioning, Avion Terrell, Colton Hood, maybe a Brandon Cisse performs well here in the offseason. But I think if you have Hood or Terrell sitting there at 18, Minnesota has to attack. Running back, unless Jeremiah Love is there, you're not taking running back here at 18. Safety, there is a slim chance that Caleb Downs slides in this draft just because of position. I don't think he slides to 18. I could see him sliding down. I'd say the floor for him is 13 to the Rams. But maybe he slides far enough where the Vikings move up to get him. But Caleb Downs, he's not going to be there at 18. I've seen people, saying that, hey, we're going to have 2 safeties go in the first round. And they've been throwing the Toledo safety, Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, in there. Listen, I don't see it. Great player, great talent, all these kinds of things. But I don't see it. I especially don't see it at 18 there. I could be wrong. Been wrong once or twice in my life, but nonetheless there. As far as value goes at 18, defensive line might be the spot here for Minnesota. These defensive linemen are kind of being clumped together. We're seeing Peter Woods. He's getting mocked, out of the top 10. So he's down in the 13, 14, 15 range, which means that the other guys like Caleb Banks and Lee Hunter and Caden McDonald are getting pushed further down as well. So at 18, you could be looking at the number 1 defensive lineman off the board here. I think I'd be shocked at that. But you could easily be looking at the number 2 defensive lineman sitting here at number 18, whoever that is for you. It's Caleb Banks for me at the moment. But whoever that is for you, Minnesota could get a lot better here at defensive line. So cornerback for me is the option number 1 if you've got Terrell, Hood, or if somehow McCoy or Delane fall down here to 18. I'm all over that if I'm the Vikings. Then I'm looking at defensive line really as my next option there at 18. I think the value is going to be great there at 18. So there you go. That's Tampa, Detroit, and Minnesota here in the draft. Drop your thoughts and opinions. I appreciate, by the way, Giants fans, shout out to you, coming out of the woodworks to comment, give their thoughts on what the Giants should do in the Giants episode. If you're a fan of the Bucs, if you're a fan of the Lions, if you're a fan of the Vikings, go ahead and drop who you want, who you think should be there, what you think your team should do at these spots here in the draft, and let us know what you think about those things. A reminder, today's episode presented by Righteous Felon Jerky. Go to righteousfelon.com. Find your favorite flavor. For me, it's bootleg and barbecue, but they have great stuff there. The Bourbon Franklin's awesome. The Teriyaki Balboa, the Soul Survivor. There's so many great flavors there at Righteous Felon, so check it out. Use the code STOVE15, and if you're ordering before Valentine's Day, you're going to get 20% off your purchase with that code STOVE15. So make sure you check that out. Follow us on social media at Sports Stove. Twitter is where we're the most active, but we also have Instagram and Facebook as well. So follow us there, and make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. We greatly appreciate your support and your watching of these draft episodes. Lots of draft content continuing to flow right here on the Sports Stove Draft Show. All right, next episode, we're looking at Carolina, Pittsburgh, and the Chargers next week. Our next episode, which should be coming out here in a couple of days. So make sure you check that out as well. Thanks for tuning in to the Sports Stove Draft Show. Until next time, we'll see you around the Sports Stove.